Welcome back to the second video at the pond build here out at Seddon's Corner. As you can see right now, we're laying down that first layer of clay. So we initially went ahead and packed this with vibratory packers and a sheep's foot, get it nice and squished down. And then we went ahead and actually scarified the top layer. The reason being is that the pond won't hold water in this natural land because it's full of sand. It's all sand. So by scarifying that, it acted as an integration layer where the clay is actually just getting keyed in for that first layer on top of the subgrade. So we're putting in those first 5-6 inches. The operator is going to go ahead and track pack it, and then we're going to run the sheep's foot over it and line this whole thing down with that first keyed in layer of clay. And we're going to keep doing 6-inch lifts until we've got a nice compressed clay liner. So this is what the land is naturally made of, a really fine sand. You can see those that's from them scarifying the top of the packed layer, and that's where the clay is going to integrate into. And this is what we brought in. So this is the blue clay. And that's going to be our liner. We're going to compress it with a sheep's foot, which is going to knead it. And we're going to put layer after layer after layer. And eventually, the finished product is going to be something. This is just one layer, but it's dried out. It's almost like asphalt, okay? And that's gonna hold your water. So on the far side of the pond here by the tree line, we built this really nice ledge. So it's actually, at this point, it's sunken down about 4 feet off of grade. That's gonna give us another foot or so for the clay, and also for the sand beach. Another main reason why we wanted this ledge is because we're gonna line this entire side with big, massive natural boulders. So we've got about 4 semi-truck loads of boulders on the other side of that clay just kind of hiding. But this is just gonna be a really beautiful scape when you're on this other side of the pond and you're looking, you're seeing that entire edging and wall of boulders. They're just doing the fine packing, the final packing on this layer. The reason we really want to pack it is we want this to be compressed as possible so that when things kind of shift around, that the clay isn't being displaced and having any chance to cause any leaks. The client wanted to make this child-friendly, so we started off with a nice gentle slope on the shoreline over by the bunkhouse. So this is gonna be all a sand beach and just gradually coming in so the little ones can swim safely, they can play in the sand, make sand castles, all that fun stuff. But he also wanted to integrate a deep end. We would have gone deeper. We hit the water table at about 12 feet in depth. And so in order to keep the liner intact and just have it an isolated liner, we stopped at that point. So we're gonna end up with about 7 feet depth over here. What we have over there is some beautiful ledging that we're building for a waterfall feature. So this pond was sort of a refurbished pond. The former owner had done a dugout here. They had a land island here. Anyways, we redid the whole thing. We kept the infrastructure of this waterfall that he may have had in mind. I don't think it was really ever used as a waterfall, but there's these beautiful tiers walking up that we're gonna build a really nice waterfall so they can enjoy the sound of the water pouring into the pond. It's just a great feature and a showstopper right there. They're actually gonna be having a wedding reception right there. And it's gonna be a potential future wedding venue. Oh, one other cool thing over there, you can see that tower. There's a windmill that actually the owner installed as a free energy aerator. We are of course gonna be installing more like a half horse aerator to make sure that there's consistent, but really a neat feature, just kind of adds to the vibe here in this beautiful log cabin setting. This is where all our rocks are, buried behind the clay. They're gonna go in after the clay goes down, but as you can see, we have quite a bit of rocks to lay down to make this pond look absolutely natural and beautiful. Okay, so this is the pond. If I was to be standing here in about a week, my head would be almost completely underwater. Okay, the clay is slowly getting its key layer put in right now, and in just a few minutes, the operator's gonna come through with the sheep's foot and start kneading this in. Waterfall is gonna be right over there. The deep end, about 7 feet deep. and the shallow end with the beach cap over here. So the beach is going to take up quite a bit. About 20-25% of the shoreline is going to be a nice, beautiful sandy beach. We're also going to have some rocks throughout here and some beautiful marine rope fencing. So we're going to have some wooden posts staked into the ground and just create that sort of water marine vibe with that nice, beautiful rope. On top of the aerator, which there's going to be one line over here and one line down here to make sure that the water is staying healthy and moving. Along with that waterfall, to help with the aeration and keeping the water moving, we're going to have a wonderful fountain that's shooting up to 32 feet. And it's going to have different nozzles and designs for different effects, and there's also going to be LED lighting right on the fountain. So they are going to be able to, from their phone, they're going to be able to light it up however they would like. So right now the sheep's foot is running over that first key layer. The reason we run that over a packer for the clay is if it's applied smooth, then it just kind of creates like sandwich layers, and you don't want that. It's going to eventually knead it into one solid piece of dough, for instance. So it's important that you don't use the vibration packer and that you're just kneading it in. This is also how they get a lot of road bases done for the highways here in Manitoba. They're using the sheep foot to build it up with just native clay. So this is layer number one. We have 2 more to go after this. Thanks for checking us out. And if you're interested in something like this, go to our website at bjornsnow.com or call us at 431-335-1588.